To view any lessons you see here, you can visit us at samplekings.com. You can buy a download or purchase a DVD. Or you can join our SK Recording School. You can see all our lessons online and download over 73,000 samples.
Okay, so we did the vocals already. We've got them lined up. I like to do most of the time is to check and see where we stand. You know, you want to know how your vocals sound in the beginning. Let's say here in the front. Or here in the middle. Or here in the... So sometimes they get a little louder. Sometimes they're softer. The purpose here is to make sure our vocals have this even feel for the entire song. Now, if they get louder, it's okay. We want to make sure they don't get too loud. If they're too soft, we want them to be okay if they're soft, but the presence must be maintained. And the best way to do this, of course, is to have great compression. So I always check my compression ratio and see if I like it and see if I can even improve it as I go along in the mix. I may want to add some more of this threshold here. I may want to get it down to a specific point where I feel, okay, I want to sort of attenuate the sound. If it gets too loud, sort of bring it back down. And if it's low enough, bring it up from the bottom. I want to get this pure sound going. And here in the beginning. So I'm listening back now to see how these vocals sound. Just how I really felt about you. And I know your mind was occupied with someone who like me wasn't new. I could never take the place of her. So I want to make sure they sound good no matter where we are. But mine beats for you, can't you hear the sound? You see this? We have this gain reduction. So when it gets too loud, it's reducing the gain. It's called gain reduction. And this happens with our compressor. So a great compression ratio will help you even that out. That means if it gets too loud, we're going to sort of bring it back down to where it should be. And if it's too soft, we're going to make sure that the bottom comes up. You got that? That's my attack right there. So you got to understand how your compressor works also as well. It's very important when using it on vocals. So what I like to do is check no matter where the vocals are and make sure they're still in there and that they still have the presence right there with all the other instruments going on. I don't want anything to interfere with the vocals. For example, we have a string right here. Now, strings are on the same frequency as the human voice. So strings, flutes, and saxophones, watch out for those. You know, you want to make sure they do not interfere with that vocal. That's important to know. So here my strings, they're somewhat low, but they're going into a reverb. And the reverb gives this ethereal effect where it's sort of like in the air, like, you know, but still has a strong presence. That's important for me because I don't want the strings to interfere with my vocal. That's this thing called this morning light I have here, the sun I have here. And it's sort of like a belly sound, which might interfere as well. I get it right here. Let me see, right here it comes in. And you can hear it when the need comes in, that want to be the one you need comes in. It almost interferes with that. So I want to make sure that I listen back to the frequencies and I make sure I may want to change the frequency somewhere where it doesn't interfere and bring it down somewhat so it supports the vocal. It's important that the music must support the vocal. So listen to your tracks and adjust that. Now sometimes you need a lower section. So I may go here and I'll expand a little bit and this may be too loud. I'll say, okay, well I want to go from this break point to this break point right here. And I use this here. See this tool now? Now the tool allows me to reduce the gain. See, I go down in terms of dB, I can lower it by just that much, this entire section. So there are ways when stuff gets too loud to sort of bring that sound down or pick that section you want to bring down. But my point here is this one thing. You must make sure that the vocals maintain that same beautiful sound from beginning to end. And it's important to check it out because that's what sells your record.